Evening, guys.
Hi, Lee. How you doing?
Hello.
All right, good. Everyone all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just trying to get things sorted here before we get started.
Hello?
Hiya.
Hello, how you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Right. I now have a live stream up and running and chat on a second screen so I can see anything anybody writes on YouTube during the evening. So we can ask questions of the group that get fired at us. Right. Put some fuel in my aeroplane.
I presumed that the 737 was for air-to-air refueling.
Yeah.
Of
All our
course.
baggage. Someone's got to take it.
Yep.
Controls.
Now, in the FMC on the 737, can you input the lat and long in terms of origin and destination where the small field doesn't have a valid entry?
No, but you can do a delta from a different waypoint. And I can't remember the syntax. I think it's like waypoint name, then digits, which would be your direction,
Location.
then
Right,
a slash, and then the distance.
Yeah, I've got what you mean.
I think that's how it works. Because that's why the waypoint names are always alpha, they're not alphanumeric.
Voice check.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, I've got a question on airports and how accurate they are, the runways.
Yep.
Yeah, I just posted on the an actual picture of Blairsville runway.
Yes.
And you can see that it's displaced and it's has a incline to it from that approach.
Yep.
And I'm currently sitting on that airstrip right now, and it's not showing displaced, nor is it showing the uprise on the runway there.
So the airfields, for the most part, are built by artificial intelligence from looking at overhead, low-resolution maps of the ground, which is why you can get better third-party airfields to replace them with. So they're kind of an approximation of how the real place looks.
Right, but I would think at least the elevation would be correct.
Yeah, but the trouble is they've got to do that for 200,000 airports. And it's, like I said, it's a low-resolution plot of the ground. That's why people like Orbex can sell a higher resolution plot, but you end up with like 10 gigabytes per country to get the ground the right shape everywhere.
And meshes.
The big problem is, the major part of the install of Flight Simulator is like 100 gig, isn't it? The major part of that is the world, in very basic detail. And then you need, on top of that, while you're flying around, to get all the pretty trees and everything drawn in, you need a fast internet connection on top of it.
Yep, I would think at least the runway, the physics, the physical nature of it
Yeah,
would be.
yeah, it's an
on-
approximation. They're never totally accurate. That's why you get third-party airfields available.
Yeah, right.
Jonathan, I have a question.
Yep.
On the landing rates in transmitter, your feet per minute,
Yep.
why are they different to the ACARS readings when you complete an ACARS flight?
ACARS does it its own way.
None of them are accurate, Jim.
Well, I would say transmitter's probably more accurate than the others because it comes straight from the simulator. The actual the name of the variable is the normal to the ground at the point you touch the floor. So it's at an angle. If the runway is inclined, it's still accurate. But the problem is things like ACARS and various other programs, they work across multiple simulators. And not all the simulators give you that data, so they have to figure out a strategy for figuring it out. Which is why it's not always the same.
Right, I know which ones I prefer. From some of my landings, definitely the transmitter ones, but that's good to know anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one from transmitter is coming straight out of the engine of the simulator.
Okay, thank you for that.
So you're better than you think, Jim.
I always have been, Dave. But thank you. Evening, Mark. Wrong Mark, sorry about that.
Into heat.
Clear prop.
Right, I'm going to get in the air and go into... Oh, hello. The 737 has just morphed, going across the front of me.
Wonder who that could be.
No idea.
Evening, Mark.
Hi, Jim. Voice check, please. All.
Yep. You good? You're quite quiet, but I think that... I'll just check levels here.
He's quiet with me as well.
Jim's quieter.
Any better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Say, Jonathan, I'm trying to dispatch this using SimBrief and VirtualFlight.Online, and it won't recognize the departure airport.
That's down to the vagaries of SimBrief, I'm afraid.
All right, so no joy.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, I asked Jonathan about the landing speeds, and transmitters are more accurate.
Well, in terms of flight simulator, let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
That's the guy that made transmitter.
Yeah. Well, all I know is I get the data directly from the engine. There is an actual variable that Flight Simulator makes available, which was the speed, perpendicular to the floor when you touched it. That does
Good
mean
evening,
evening or morning for you.
Morning for me.
I guess that does mean in terms of those landing rates, if you were to bounce, I guess it would measure the second touch.
Which? ACARS or transmitter?
Transmitter would.
Don't always bounce.
So if you do bounce, make sure you get the final settle nice and smooth.
Sure, takeoff.
Oops, if I start bouncing, it gets worse.
Just watch the 737 go. That was funny.
Geysers, like some smoke geysers after the 737. It's funny.
It is.
I don't think
Including-
some people read the flight brief.
I think this is going to sting a bit.
The touch and goes are going to be very touch and go.
So I was telling Joe I have REX Accu Seasons, which changes the leaf colors dynamically.
Right.
And in my part of the world, in the northern America, and the northern tip of America, it's already like all different colors. But here in North Carolina right now, it's still green.
Wow.
Really, in North Georgia here, it's pretty much almost all the leaves are gone.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not updating then for me.
No, I'm saying in the real world up here in North Georgia, it's pretty much gone.
It should reflect that, but I guess it's not.
We got any locals today for in-flight commentary? Guided tour like?
I think we do. Been here several times, but I don't know enough to commentary. Like, oh, there's a hill, there's a mountain.
I've been to Stone Mountain out of Atlanta there, way back in the 60s.
Okay, I've got no oil pressure, but the engine's running. I think that's a bug.
Aircraft?
Yeah, the zoom isn't working either on the displays. I'm going to go back out and come back in before we get going.
What are you flying?
It was the RV-14.
Oh, okay.
How strange is that?
Yeah, pretty stable.
I usually use it on the group flights because it's so easy to see everybody from the cockpit. And it can go a little bit quicker than 120 if I need to play catch up. We've still got 15 minutes, so it's not a huge problem.
Evening, everybody.
Evening.
Alright.
Evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to make a coffee before we get going.
Talking of which, Ellis, there's a coffee shop at the halfway stop.
Is there? I checked it out yesterday. I couldn't see one.
It's a portable. It's
okay.
It's
I got one out of a balloon last week.
Yeah, and the balloon dropped dead.
I will check it out when we get there. Some interesting airfields. I don't know how you cook these up, Jonathan. Where did you find these remote places?
I just look for hilly places that have got clusters of airfields near each other. That kind of leads us all over the world in search of that kind of mixture.
Yeah, there's also a lot of grass one-rays if you're into that as well.
Yeah. Right, let's try this again.
Line up.
Hi guys.
Hiya.
I've come on, but I can't see anybody. Do I
Are you
have it on the
Southeast Asia?
Sorry?
Southeast Asia on your server?
Yeah. Well, I'll double check.
And when you went into flight conditions before you came in, did you select all players?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So-
I'll just check beta. I'll just check it again. The other one. You're not on the beta, are you? No, I don't think so. I'll double check. I'll double now.
Hello.
Evening.
Right, is this going to behave itself this time?
Clear prop.
And I still have no oil pressure. How odd is that?
Did you check it with the dipstick?
I think I might be the dipstick.
Yeah, that's odd because I'm also flying the RV-14 and mine's up in the green range, 162. I'm sorry, 78 pounds.
That is really, really odd.
That's got to be a bug.
It has. I'm going to choose a different plane then for the evening. We'll get there eventually. Oh, I've got to decide on an aeroplane now.
Oh my god, I'm in the steering and nothing's moving. Weird.
What should we go for? I could go for the Caravan, I guess.
What's our halfway point tonight?
Cambell Field, was it?
8-5 Tango.
Yeah, Martin Cambell Field.
Yeah,
you.
1A3.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought it was the other one after that.
Jim, good evening. You're very faint, mate.
That better? Is that better?
Not really.
Not really, Jim.
Right, let's see if this airplane's gonna try to get in. I will watch from this channel. Todd, my multiplayer won't show anyone at the field.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Good evening.
Right, let's try this again. Right, I can see airplanes, which is always a good sign.
What's the air traffic controller said?
Co-pilot, £0. Give myself a bit more fuel. Fuel on.
Evening, everybody.
Evening.
Good evening. Well, hopefully this flight goes better for me, because last week the whole thing shut off, and I didn't want to get in a fight with my girlfriend, but it was basically her fault because she said it was too loud and I had to put my headphones on, and whenever I pulled my USB cord out to put my headphones in, my pinky finger hit the power button and shut the whole entire thing off right before we were about to get to the Mount Roraima or wherever we were. Yeah. So I didn't even bother getting back in, and I just watched the rest of it on your stream.
Oh dear.
Oh well, could be worse. You could have off-blinded your girlfriend with a marshmallow 2 minutes ago. Well, she didn't ask me to throw them at her into her mouth, did she?
I was pretty upset, but I didn't say that it was her fault, even though technically if I didn't have to put my headphones on, then my finger wouldn't have accidentally hit the button.
Happy wife, happy life, man.
Right, let's give this a shot.
Okay, voice check.
Much better.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jim. That's better, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, this plane seems to be behaving itself.
We'll all be flying the DC-3 and things next week then.
We will.
Sounds like a plan.
Soft made that right.
Good evening, everyone. Mic check, please.
Yep, loud and clear, Mike.
Never misses the trick, does he?
Very good.
I learned this a couple weeks ago, 5x5.
I'm sure Joe can tell us what the two numbers are.
Breathability and strength usually.
There we go. I knew what they were. I just couldn't remember which way round it was.
Usually if you just use one, it's readability.
So we got a guy on the live stream saying greetings from Charleston, Illinois.
He's close. He might know something.
It's close.
Well, you're certainly closer than we are.
I'm in Florida, and I still have actually not been to a few of these areas.
Where are we?
On the border of North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia.
Up in the Appalachians, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, basically.
There's a large...
Not far from Nashville, I think.
Yeah, near the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, we have electricity and running water inside the house.
Not far from Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And near Gatlinburg, which is right at the edge of the Smokies, which is like a big tourist trap.
There's Chattanooga, I've been there.
Isn't there a song, something about Chattanooga Choo-Choo?
Yeah, it's a song by Glenn Miller.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you went there by train.
No, I was driving. Anyone ever goes there, though, go to Ruby Falls. It's fantastic.
Anybody else on live weather?
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yep.
High ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to rain, but I don't know if the sim's that accurate on what the clouds look like. Do they look dark?
It might.
It is overcast here in the real world.
Ceiling is rather low, right?
Yeah, I'm outside the just outside the Blairsville airport area, about 15 miles south of it.
Well, there's
There
your
you
tour
go.
guide. Yeah.
How are we doing for time? A couple of minutes to go. We'll leave it till about 5 past before we actually set off to give latecomers a chance to jump in.
Yeah, I'm still having a problem. I can't see anybody. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, the only things to check are the flight conditions to make sure it's all players, the server you're on to make sure it's Southeast Asia.
It might be the all players thing. Let me.
Yeah, you have to go out to the main menu to change it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But you've got a few minutes, so don't worry.
Okay, no, cheers, Jonathan.
You know,
Evening, Lyndon.
Evening,
Hello.
Sergeant Dixon.
Hello, I'm here as well, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Dave.
It's quite cool seeing everybody's lights flying around the airfield.
The bees.
Yeah. Well, the forest gives it a natural dark backdrop.
We should do a night flight.
We should. Trouble is, there's not much sightseeing to be done at night, is there?
Yeah. Okay, dusk.
Maybe some big cities at night.
Yeah.
Like a tour of New York at 2 in the morning or something.
I haven't had 12 frames per second in a while.
I had that earlier.
Yeah, mine's been doing really bad right now too.
Yeah, it's to do with the other aircraft that are, you know, if you happen to have the wrong aeroplane with the wrong livery, it can crater the frame rate. I updated the Cessna Mustang business jet earlier. I've had to remove it from the simulator. If it even appeared near me, it cratered the frame rate.
Odd. Very odd.
Oh, wow.
While I was inside it, it was fine. But if I saw it on the ground while I was in a different plane, it pulled the simulator almost to a halt.
A little energy vampire.
Yeah.
Colin Bloody Robinson.
It's okay, we got 7 people still on the ground.
Yeah, we've got another few minutes yet. So I'll do the talky bit, I guess, that we do at the start of every flight. Welcome to VirtualFlight.Online if you've not flown with us before. We do this every week, or we try to do this every week on a Sunday evening, flying somewhere around the world as a group. We also operate an airline, but this is just a casual group flight this evening. The only real rules, or not really a rule, is please try and stay together on the group flight. We've tried to do about 120 knots average over the route, so you know, to fit in with a wide range of aircraft. Please keep, if you're on the voice channel, just please keep the conversation family friendly, so you know, no politics, religion, anything like that. It's just about aeroplanes. We're here to fly planes and talk about them and have a laugh, really. But yeah, other than that, just have fun. We will be stopping at the halfway point for a 10-minute break, and I think with the airfield we've chosen this evening is Martin Cambell Field, which is the 3rd airfield we will visit. So other than that, yeah, have fun. So shall we actually get started then? So first heading this evening is 192 degrees to Heaven's Landing. 18 miles away.
Stop and go at the rest of them, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's touch and goes at every airfield except the middle airfield and the end.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Touch.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing this very long.
Has anybody else noticed since update 10 the MPD display shows the other aircraft here as well?
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately the GTN 750 doesn't work, but the built-in G1000s all work.
Yeah, and the RV-14 is just showing the whole area, just peppered with planes.
It's great, isn't it?
And on the Kodiak, it actually gives you elevation levels and collision warnings.
Yep.
Takes all the fun out of it.
Especially when we don't worry too much about going through other aeroplanes anyway.
Back in
I
the
like the
F6 days.
elevation profile that little nav map gives us. It's very helpful. Stops you flying into hills.
It is. It's useful.
Back
Especially
in the F6 days, we had that.
Yeah, without that Himalayas tour we did with the airline would have been a nightmare.
When does that expire?
End of the month. It just at the end of the month it will just turn into a tour.
Okay.
And well, it won't turn into it automatically. I'll go in and change it.
Yeah, automatic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's following the line that you suspected I was a robot. So there you go.
we caught on.
On to the Himalayas that we completed and had to complete by tonight.
Yeah, I've extended it because lots of people said there's no way they were going to finish the event before, but it will turn into a tour anyway. It's not going to go away.
What I realise is the pressure you put on me and I've had my fill of him this week. And I've been playing golf.
Was that brilliant? Likewise, I'm sure.
Was that Philosan you said?
What's that?
Philosan. 45's the over 40s, doesn't it?
I gave it up 30 years ago.
Hooray! So Goldwinger said he's in now, so he can see us. I think we got some new members coming in because of the group flight. Because I started broadcasting on YouTube quite early to give people that discovered it a chance.
Yeah, I'm up and running now.
Brilliant.
I don't think I've seen so many flyers on NavMap as we've got today. It's a humongous number.
It's a bit crazy, isn't it? They're still taking off.
My Kodiak will not stay in the air. The engine just won't kick up over zero.
We had a similar thing earlier with a different plane.
Have you stopped it and then restarted it without restarting the game?
Well, I went down all the way, crashed, and then hit Y, slewed back up, and the engine just won't go above zero.
Are you still on Y? We press Y again to come out of it.
There was an update because I had ITT temperature shooting way on up after I stopped and restarted it on the runway, and there was a bug fix for that. I think within the past week or two, I think.
That trick just mentioned about pressing Y does work occasionally.
Occasionally.
Oh yeah, but it could be something else.
That does work occasionally. It's like 60% of the time, all of the time.
Some of it died.
Works all the time, but
Some
sometimes.
of it died. Yeah, I did have 2 or 3 updates in the Kodiak, but not one within the last week. I think I'm going to change planes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you break the engine in game, you have to exit to the main menu. Even a restart will not reset the engine there.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Did you hear a big boom earlier before, or you just said you crashed?
Yeah, crashed and then slew back up.
Yeah, it's very
that
accurate. You
boom
remember
sound is crazy whenever the engine blows up. You're like, oops.
Well, that's rude.
There goes 20 grand.
The funny thing is, I kind of did a video on YouTube showing how to break the engine and how to avoid breaking it, and several real pilots weighed in on it, and they gave the real reason it happens. And they said, yeah, you do the thing that you did on purpose to break it, and you've got half the price of your house has just vanished. It literally is a new engine block if you do what I did.
Well, a normal 4-cylinder Lycoming will set you back about 30 grand.
Yep.
And that's just the smallest job. We had a top-end overhaul of our Lycoming 2 years ago, and it was 25 grand.
Crikey.
I'd like to know why my co-pilot's got more stripes than me.
He's done more hours than you, Jim.
Well, he should be sitting in this seat then.
The answer is the carbon interaction.
Okay, I've not actually flown this route myself, so I'm looking for airfields as well.
I did a cheat yesterday, Jonathan.
Hey ho, Joe.
What surprise, Ellie?
Pardon, Jim?
I said, what a surprise.
What was the cheat then? Come on.
No, I just went and had a look. Then I know.
He said
I like
that
to
every
know.
week.
Spoiler.
I like to know where I'm going. I mean, say it's exploring the world. That's why I never use live weather, because half the time you can't see it. So what's the point?
Well, you
pretty good now.
Get to the front of the pack and show us where it all is.
No, I'm not going to do that. You're in for a few surprises.
You're going to need 4,000 to get above this.
If you sat in a seat facing backwards, you could watch where you've been.
Watch where you're wending.
Oh yeah, never thought of that.
So, second airport is 2,000 feet above sea level.
That's a good point. I haven't calibrated my altimeter.
Calibrate your altimeter. Everyone click B. Get it on a real plane, start doing their real training. They're going to be like, "Where's the B key? How come I can't hit Control Shift F4 to start my engines?"
See, this starts a conversation though about when you are mid-flight in a VFR situation. What do you tune it into? At what point do you leave the barometric pressure where you took off from, and at what point do you switch it to where you're going?
You're really close to the ground.
Every time you change frequency to a different ATC unit, they'll give you the local, or they might give you a regional QNH.
Yes, spot on.
See, this is the great thing. When we got real pilots on the channel, we can get all of our questions answered.
Yep.
Oh, I've just discovered the airport. I cleared the brow of the hill and there it was.
Same for me.
I like how they put it between two mountains. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Which way is the wind?
I was going to say mind your altitude on approach to this one.
So
I think little nav map
I'm
said
going the
this
wrong
was
way.
the right runway for wind.
Yeah, I'm doubling back. I'm going to the wrong end of the runway.
It's only 5 knots.
Yeah, but
I did an Omni bearing selector for the 222 heading.
I'm going to join the stream of aeroplanes that are coming in.
Joe, your 737 smoking.
Is it?
Yeah.
A firm.
There's no smoking sign on.
Yeah, I can't see any smoke. Engines are okay.
Have a look at my live stream, you'll see it.
Yeah, so still right.
Here comes the 737 across in front of me now.
Yeah, I can see him. I might follow him in actually.
I think he's going to go around. He's a bit high.
Joking. It'll be a low approach with me.
Nope, never goes around.
He's dive bombing it.
That's a bit of an exaggeration. I'm only descending at 73,000 feet a second.
I'm seeing the smoke as well. It's quite funny.
It's like geysers under behind it.
What do you mean there? Somebody's left the toaster on.
Who are you transporting there?
I apologise for the wake turbulence, by the way, guys.
Too bad that really doesn't happen in game, huh? Doesn't DCS do that?
It does. It's very good.
But you can. They only did it because of Top Gun, right?
It's always been in it. So when you're dogfighting, it's a real pain in the backside. Actually, you just think you're getting into a kind of a firing position, and you hit the wake turbulence, and your nose starts squirreling around all over the place.
Did you get it behind that transport yesterday?
No, because I stayed away from behind it. You learn eventually just to stay away from the direct area behind an aeroplane.
Wow, I just had a crash to desktop for no reason that I could see. It's the first time I've had one of those for ages.
God, it's like a swarm of bees in front of me.
Okay, so next airfield should be 269 degrees, 27 miles, Blairsville. If you find yourself getting way ahead of the pack, just consider flying an orbit.
Exactly what I'm doing.
I was going to say, just go and enjoy the scenery and do an orbit, because it's quite picturesque around here, isn't it? All these little lakes. And
it is awesome.
Yeah, live weather looks amazing because the clouds are breaking through, so you get some bright areas and dark areas on the grass.
Yeah, it is working out nice.
If you do an orbit, be careful when you come back into the pack. There's millions of them. Hatch County.
How many people we have right now?
Can you say that a little bit louder?
A lot.
frame rate is really suffering this evening. I don't know why.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting stuttering in VR, hitting below that 40 level.
Counting 32 on the channel right now.
That's awesome.
It's not going to be long before you're up there with the same hanger levels.
Yeah, don't forget I've got 130 on board my aircraft alone.
Hey, you have all our socks and underwear on your 737 as well.
And they don't want to be there though.
I hope you've got plenty of stick bags.
They're meant to be in Luton.
Scenery is ridiculous, isn't it? It's very good.
Say that every week.
I know.
Great golf course.
Let's all try X-Plane next week.
No.
Oh, Joe, you're really smoking.
Yeah, I can't see a thing on there on my external view.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm getting a couple pictures for it. You'll see it. It's pretty fun.
Dark smoke or white smoke?
It's white
White
smoke
smoke.
pouring
Oh,
out.
it's
like
the
a
contrails,
contrail,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's obviously a contrail bug.
Chemtrail.
Got to keep an eye out for Dolly Parton World or whatever it's called.
That's those two big hills over there.
That's what I was thinking. You beat me to it.
Goodness me.
Way to keep it G, but not.
That's like the scene in, was it 4 Weddings and a Funeral, where the guy says very hilly, and he's actually describing a girl that stood right next to him.
That's funny.
Those are Rishi fans, yeah.
It's very silly.
There's an awful lot of knobs around.
Why? What plane are you flying?
I can never get over how good the lighting model is on this simulator. Like you were saying earlier, with the light coming through the clouds.
Yeah, it looks real. Like, it's mimicking real life.
Yeah.
Really well. It's a big jump from Flight Simulator X. It's also almost 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
You mean it's not real life?
Yes, it is. I assume that's how you paint the aircraft. You just take a big paintbrush.
He's got a spray gun.
Yeah.
What about the whole mimicking the real world thing? We had an interesting conversation the other evening here about Facebook and their big bet on Horizon, I think it's called, or Horizons, with their virtual reality environment. So 3-4 years ago, Facebook was worth on paper $1 trillion. It's now worth a fifth of that after their big bet on the 3D stuff.
Yeah, it's not doing well, is it?
So I just wonder. I think it is coming, but
The
I think they're
metaverse.
they're just too early. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's expensive to be an early adopter.
But then the same thing happened with Amazon. They lost and lost and lost until they started winning.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They took the big bet 25 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they overpriced the VR headset that goes with that as well.
Well, they're probably just not willing to take a huge loss on it yet.
Well, the Quest 2 was really cheap.
Yeah.
And then they increased the price on it for no reason.
How about this, Jonathan? Listen, the other day I was talking with a friend of mine on my drive, right, by my car, and we were talking about jukeboxes, so we both into music. So in this conversation, anyway, he said his goodbyes, off we went. I came indoors, got my iPad out, went on to Facebook, and there were adverts for, guess what, jukeboxes. How does that work? I have never had my phone with me. I'm standing on my front drive.
Yeah, you need to get a roll of tinfoil and make a pointy hat out of it. No, I don't know. Seriously, though, I don't know.
You gotta stick your head in the microwave.
Scary.
It's not listening to you. There was a mirror, so it can see the mirror and the reflection, and the camera can lip read.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the thought police.
Hal. Yeah, Hal could do it way back then. Our iPhone can do it now.
If I look at simulated stuff for outdoor gear, it starts popping up on my wife's Facebook feed for some reason.
Maybe that means she's been looking for Christmas presents.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, congratulations.
Thing is, I'm not even friends with her on Facebook.
She's going to get you a nice big 6 foot tall stripper by the look of it.
I thought he was going to say he wasn't friends with her then.
I keep looking at motion rigs, so let's hope.
We're coming up on the tallest point in Georgia, Bald Mountain, Brassdown Bald.
Yeah, I'm just climbing up the side of it now, I think.
You'll see a building at the top, and there's a parking lot below it.
Oh yeah, I see it. What's up there? What's the building?
It's National Park Service. They have shows the history of the area, and there's an observation post up there as well.
Fire watch. Yeah.
that you. Well, no, it's a platform. It's a deck that you can walk all the way around. It's on the roof.
Oh, cool.
And see every 360-degree view up there.
I'm gonna circle it.
Yeah, I've got it in the live view at the moment.
Yeah, I'm circling around.
Are we going to wait till
Unfortunately,
Dave
it
crashes
doesn't
into
show
it?
the observation deck.
And Joe's polluting it.
Thank you.
Are there any pylons near it?
They're transported
yet,
to
we're
Kodiak. Yeah.
And you have the option to walk up from the parking lot to the top. It's a nice little hike there. It's kind of steep, but either that or you can take the bus up.
You know the height of that mountain?
It's just shy of 4,800 feet.
I hope you're right, because I'm flying at 5,000.
So carry on down the way. There's a petroglyph site apparently we're about to pass as well.
And you'll see an open pit gravel mine here. And if you line up with that, it'll take you straight on into 2-6.
You can see the observation point on top of the mountain.
Jim and I looked for the Nazca lines the other day in Peru.
Did you find them?
I think we were not up high enough.
You could see plenty of lines, but we were looking specifically for the monkey, and we got the coordinates for it, put it into a little nav map, and went out there. But I think we were only about 6,000 above. So I think these things are supposed to be seen from space, aren't they? So I think we were just too low. That was after we crammed in the Himalayas and finished it this morning.
The Himalayas was probably one of the best events, scenic-wise.
That one particular airfield midway through was brilliant, wasn't it? The one that was in the mountains, on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
You mean the one that you forgot? No, I'm not going to say it now.
Simicot?
Yeah, Simicot, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting though. Jim saw it happen. I was on approach, put the gear down, flaps down, landed, the gear never came down. I think the only thing I can think is it must have simulated it being frozen.
Oh wow.
But if you fly over the runway now, you can see the gouges.
But yeah, it kind of reinforced upon me the real world procedures I should be adhering to of looking for green lights for the undercarriage, and yeah.
If you have the Bravo, it's right in your face.
Which aircraft did you have?
I think it was the
King Air.
It was the King Air, yeah, the analog one.
Yeah,
so the one that models all the
airport,
failures.
Airport, so that's why.
Sorry?
Yeah, I had a look on the local official airport information from the airworthiness office, and there are only 4 types of aircraft which are validated on this airfield.
Well, there's no go-around route, is there?
I don't think so.
No, if you mess it up, you've had it.
Out.
And there is no fuel either. So.
Oh my word.
Not a very good airport. 1 star.
TripAdvisor.
Would not crash there again.
It won't crash again.
The launch was not so good. Yeah.
That quarry's pretty spectacular on approach. Anyone notice that just flying over?
Yeah, you get real perception of depth, don't you?
Yes, really sharp cliffs.
Right, I'm just going to fly a circuit here.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm a little high.
Whoa,
About
look at the lights.
4,000 feet.
The lights of everybody coming in are spectacular.
Some Santa and reindeer vibes seeing all those people coming in.
Is this one stop and go too?
Yep.
Yeah, so stop and go.
The next one is the stop for the halfway point.
Oh, good, the copy's coming.
You have like stones or rings around the windsock, just for direction.
Right, the heading is 305.
Thank you. I just realised when I took off I didn't turn my lights on. Whoops.
Fail.
Fail if you're on a card.
5 point penalty.
We should lobby them to get rid of that.
For speed? No. Too bad. They fail.
Better slow down a bit. They get snow in this area in the winter.
You can say that.
Mostly get ice storms. There's some storms or snowstorms, but there hasn't been anything past, I'd say 5-10 years or more.
Global warming.
I used to live down in Jacksonville, and the winters up here are getting to be more like North Florida.
You're right. Yeah.
We used to see down in the 0 degree Fahrenheit area at least once or twice during the winter. The past 5 years, I think it's only been in the mid to upper teens Fahrenheit.
So someone on the live stream is asking where we are. We are about 15 miles out from Martin Cambell Field, 1 Alpha 3, which is the whole area. We're on the borders of North Carolina, Tennessee and Georgia. We're not far away from Chattanooga, so if anybody wanted to spend the break whizzing over there to go and have a look, feel free. Oh, it's quite a long way over there though, isn't it?
Clouds are looking great.
Let's get all jumping Joe's aircraft on, we'll go.
Yeah, go for a tourist trip.
Next year, that's next year, yeah?
Free, long as it's free.
Maybe next year when they implement the multiplayer.
Yeah,
And we'll do that, yeah? Little jolly boys outing.
We'll have a passenger mode in the simulator.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Where you sit and watch an old movie and eat rubbish food out of a freezer.
Reenact airplane. You get up to the cockpit and we'll count on you.
Does anybody know if voice-to-voice communication in the flight sim is on the wish list?
I don't know.
It seems like it'd be nice to have at least the Unicom where you have like a 50 to 70 mile radius to it.
Yeah, it works like a real radio. Yeah,
it would be good.
And allow people to accept or reject when someone reaches out to like say something, because I'm sure they want to prevent like people from like griefing or just on open comms saying stuff, if that was such a thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
That's the problem. You gotta now you gotta rate it, get a game rating, and you gotta fix it for multiplayer. If you put voice chat.
Like I had some random player that was flying near me somewhere, and it just sent me a friend request because he was flying a plane near me, but I couldn't talk to him or anything. I didn't know anything about him, but if he could have been able to say like, "Hey man, that was a good landing" or something, then that would have worked, maybe to make a friend or something. So yeah, they should put that on the wish list.
Oh, you're easy.
Yeah, I remember playing a very earlier version of Microsoft Flight Sim, and they actually had a little text box you could chat to each other.
Yep.
Yep.
I think the problem with all of these things is because of all the safeguarding laws that have come about, they don't dare do anything like that anymore.
Yep, just take it off. It's easier. I think we'll be on Discord for a while. Unfortunately.
I am
I think
amazed.
so far Discord seems to be really set up great for gaming and stuff like this so far. That doesn't seem like any gaming company would completely be able to replace it themselves.
Well, Microsoft tried to buy them.
functionality.
Yeah, Microsoft tried to buy Discord a while back, and they pulled out at the 11th hour.
I'm glad they did, frankly, but that would have been huge for Microsoft if they owned them.
Glad they did.
They would have destroyed it like Skype.
It'd be a subscription channel.
And it'd be on every Windows 11 and 12, and everybody would have it.
Yeah, like Skype. You can't turn it off.
What runway we're going in, guys?
There's a 10-knot wind right here. I'm not sure what it's over there.
Yeah, I'm being thrown around quite a lot by turbulence. It's
I am.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's the mountains, right?
Yeah, but the wind isn't that fast.
I think I'm gonna go above the runway first, and then turn right, if you will, and then I don't know if that's upwind or down, and then come down out into 23. That's what I think I'm gonna do.
Wind is 190 at 6 knots on the ground at Martin Cambell Field.
Yeah, it's not much of a concern.
Best runway for wind, little nav map saying runway 20.
Yeah, that sounds like
2.
Where the sky is clearing now, it's starting to look quite amazing,
Yep.
actually.
Yeah.
And I'm really liking these throttles. I ordered a nice set on Etsy that I could put on for the Kodiak, and the guy that made them literally used metal for like the little circular twist-on like metal nuts, if you will, that go right below the throttle on the Kodiak, and then the prop and the mixture are like 3D printed red for the mixture, like a circular one, and then the little blue crown. But I ended up actually ordering the Cessna 208 ones because they looked identical to the Kodiak, but I didn't realize that they actually made Kodiak ones that have a slightly different looking prop crown that's blue. It kind of looks like more of like a weird fork spoon instead of like a crown, but it kind of still looks the same. But they're really nice. It feels like he used metal for the connector, so it literally looks like just like in the sim what the real throttles look like. I can appreciate that.
Is that for the Bravo or what unit?
Yeah, for the Bravo.
Can you post a link in the hardware section later after our flight?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I have a Boeing 737 and a Cessna Citation made by people on Etsy, and they're really good. So I found out those two are good, and then this, and that's pretty much, if you have those three, and I think they're like $25 a piece. Yeah, then you can pretty much feel pretty realistic on a lot of different planes.
Yeah, I appreciate a link on those later.
Yeah, I'll have to put that in the hardware tab.
What is it? Replacement levers for the Bravo, is it? That you're talking about?
Yeah. That look like the real, shape and everything. But the key is finding somebody, a seller on Etsy that does a good job at it, because pretty much everybody's just using 3D printers nowadays. They just buy it and they can just print anything, but you got to make sure that they're really good 3D printed, and then also that they finish them, use like sandpaper and stuff instead of just, because you've probably seen poorly 3D printed stuff before.
Time for a change from the Stearman, I think. A little bit lacking.
There's a big tree in the way.
Not mention anything about an aircraft in the way.
It's a big 737 in the way.
Yep, now it's in the way.
Now don't rush the coffee shop, boys. I'm going to be in a queue for a while, I can see that. There's a lot of people in front of me.
Well, if you're going to get stuck, I've got a lot on board.
The ATC at this airport's just been rushed to hospital. I wonder why.
Heart attack.
Yeah, the guy quit. Make more at McDonald's than anywhere there.
I had to turn the nameplates off, I couldn't see the airstrip. F-12 to the rescue.
I have mine assigned to voice chat, or voice command, and it works really well.
That's absolutely the one at the end.
Looks like Joe's going for a picnic.
Yeah, it's a very small green taxiway.
Footpath, you mean?
That's it.
You have a ladder on that so you can get off?
No, he just parks it next to your aircraft and he'll just step on the
Jumps
roof.
on it? Yeah.
Excuse me,
There are
Jack,
some
pushing in.
mods to install retractable stairs on big aircraft. There are some mods to do that.
There is some airlines that do it, isn't there?
So,
oh yeah, it's an option on the PMDG.
one about stairs and walking around and stuff. I got the alpha of the new version of FS Realistic, where you can walk around.
Oh yeah.
But they're not releasing it. They found a critical bug in it, so I haven't even installed it yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sworn to secrecy once I have seen it. I'm allowed to obviously to put some videos and stuff out to. They're using people as a marketing campaign, basically. But the trouble is, I think it might come out badly because I don't think it's as good as people want it to be.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's a bit of a disaster for them myself, but we'll wait and see.
They did say it was a big frame hitter on their YouTube channel.
They'll figure it out. But it will be is the free add-on if you already have it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was rough.
737 just going through some trees to park.
You found the coffee shop, Ellis?
I'm just about to go and sort it out, Jim.
So you want some depressing history about the area?
Go on, Em.
Used to be a
I came
copper
for.
mining town. Big in copper and closed down about 10, 15 years ago.
That's like most of the north of England then.
So.
Didn't know we had copper fields in the north of
Well, no,
England.
but mining. It's one of the
Is it
kind
just
of...
me, or
So go on.
sorry, John? Does everyone else see the interior of the Cessna 208s as bright pink?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're on a girly tour.
Missing texture or something.
That's the one with the markings. I think it's P2 NTE. It looks pink on the inside.
I see 1737 whatever it is.
Yeah, the two 208s I'm seeing, they're both in the FedEx livery, which I've got. I'm guessing that the people aren't actually in that livery. That's possibly what's causing the cock-up.
It's a hen party.
Yeah, the one that's near the windsock, if I zoom out, it looks pink. If I zoom in, the pink goes away.
Okay.
Yes, linked to the LOD thing. When it's away, for some reason, it's taking another picture, another color to do the painting, and for some reason it fades at some point. We had some discussion about the Kodiak, and it's a known issue on the Kodiak. On the other aircraft, it depends how the LOD is read, but in some cases, if you have a lot of liveries, it can create some issue. It's linked to the difference of level of detail you get when you go in or out.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, that's making sense. That's exactly what's happening when I'm zooming in.
And in fact, they changed one of the settings was changed during, I think it was SU5 or SU6, and they completely changed what are those where are located the picture files for those long distance things, which are really low density, low level picture. And if you had some livery files that were made before, you are not looking into the right folder. So that's why sometimes you get pink checkered things.
Right, so the solution is to get rid of that old FedEx livery, which I downloaded many months ago.
So it's one way. The other, but it's more. You have to get into the file is to cancel the use of this livery by the AI system. It's also a 1 to be converted to 0. This is what I did, for example, for all the VirtualFlight.Online or VirtualFlight.Airline liveries. I put the settings so that it can be used by AI. This is where you can see some of these aircraft when you go to an airport. But in some cases, and in particular for the Kodiak, in some cases you have this pink issue. But it's usually only for the long distance aircraft.
Yeah, okay, thanks very much.
We have people asking in the YouTube channel, when is the next one? And I just replied and said, yeah, we do this every Sunday evening if we can.
Are they enjoying it then? Watching?
I think so. There's quite a few people chipping in. So picking up
Or maybe they are just laughing when they see us landing.
Possibly.
Yeah. You didn't put this under comedy, did you, John?
I'm just going to go make a quick coffee. I'll be back in a moment.
Alright, Joe, you're showing up in a Southwest livery. Is that what you have?
No, it's Ryanair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you check your live stream, it's Windy Echo Sierra Echo Victor.
Heard bad things about Ryanair. It's like equivalent to the US's Spirit.
That sounds about right.
Southwest is the only one that does the non seatings. It's random.
I haven't flown for a while, but Southwest was always my favorite airline there because you would pick your own seating as you got on board.
Yeah, that doesn't create like a madhouse? I've never been on Southwest.
They have different. At the time when I went, they had like an ABC section. So if you checked in earlier, you get assigned to the A, and then as you check in later, you get assigned to the next one. So they would
that's good.
take you
First come.
That choosing your own seats, include the cockpit.
Yeah, you get the cockpit if you're really early.
Okay, shotgun.
I'd always pick the window seats over the wing.
And no matter what, it's always a rip-off.
It's remarkable. I can't even count how many planes we have, even in the game.
I don't think that this GA button on the throttle works for the Kodiak. Is it functional?
GA button?
I don't think so. Yeah, the go around button. I don't think you can even click on it in the Kodiak to do anything.
I don't think it. No, pretty sure the reverse. No, I've never found it.
Yeah. It's extremely rare to push that go around button.
What does it actually do?
Doesn't it set your elevator trim back to takeoff again?
That's on the aircraft.
I don't know. I'm not a pilot.
I've
Just
got my
wondering
map
if
for
the
the
real
parking
world
brake.
guys can tell us.
Gives you full throttle immediately.
On an airliner, probably. Yeah, I don't know if like a Cessna will.
Oh, I don't know if there is Toga on GA. I have no idea.
I have it on my button for the Honeycomb Bravo with the GA throttle on. So something uses it.
Right, I'm going to take off and go and circle the airfield.
Coffee's a bit rough at this place, Jim. Sorry.
I don't sell it. I'm not worried.
They need to up their game.
Well, I'm giving free coffee if you just bring your boarding pass.
Thank you.
Ticket. No ticket.
What if we're not in the Sky Club?
This is Ryanair.
No free coffee for you.
Oh, you know, when I was trying to think of what to call this airline, I really thought I should have thought about it and just misspelled it and called it Ryanair.
That sounds reasonable.
Life of Brian.
Exactly, it would have just worked somehow, wouldn't it? Probably got sued by Monty Python now.
And Ryanair.
Yeah. Especially if it looked exactly like their logo.
Reverse the colors.
Yeah.
I've been flying the Kodiak so much I'm getting bored. I feel like I want to do another G36 Bonanza. Would be fun. Need to get back into that.
Yeah, the little V-tail Bonanza's good fun as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't picked that one up. I might need to grab that one.
And the push-pull Cessna is fun. Sky
Oh yeah, the 337, yeah.
That's worth it.
It is.
Yeah, the V-shaped Bonanza is pretty fun to fly.
Apparently
Much more
it's...
sensitive than the Orient.
I was going to say its nickname was the Doctor Killer, wasn't it?
Yep. Someday,
I'm
I'm
not
sure,
there, so I don't care.
I'm sure we'll eventually get a nice little paper yellow airplane on that pretty soon, right?
Can I ask a question of any butt kicker users?
I don't know if anybody here has got a butt kicker on their flight sim kit.
I
Gaming
was wondering
kit.
if FS Realistic enhances the experience or not.
I got over about 20 things plugged in and can't afford another plug.
I think butt kickers just use the sound though, don't they?
Yes. So, yeah.
I've just put a couple of tactile puck speakers on my rig. I was wondering if FS Realistic is worth it or not.
It adds a lot of sounds that wouldn't have been there otherwise. So yeah, if you want more audio fidelity, then FS Realistic will add to it, and it's not very expensive.
And turbulent.
Customizable. If you bank and turn a bit too sharp, you have everybody in the back screaming.
Yeah, as Lyndon just said, it is massively customizable as well.
So the imagine would be good with a butt kicking because you can customize the level of everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm flying VR, so anything that adds to the experience.
Yeah, maybe check first FS Realistic. It's really fun, including VR. It really gives a whole atmosphere.
I find just having a good biryani before you fly works just as well. Sometimes too realistic.
I'm just going to fly some circuits here. Is everybody off the ground, or?
I was going to say, as long as you don't have to go around.
A few still left there, yeah.
Sim has just paused. It's doing its worrying freeze.
I've got a smoking tyre. Look at my stream.
There's a lot of smoke over there.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I've just come away from the Stearman. It was a little bit lackluster. Yeah, you got a smoking tyre. It's on fire.
These roads on fire.
Okay, so 11 degrees, 22 miles to Tellico Plains Municipal.
Marvellous. Howdy ho, chaps.
Just trying to see if there's anything interesting en route. I think it's all hills and rivers and the Appalachia Trail.
Get up to 5,000 feet pretty quick.
I'll see if I can cool.
You need to get up to 5,000 feet pretty quick. Oh.
There isn't anything much more than 4,000 feet along this route, Dave.
We have mountains as high as what we've already been over. Still ahead of us.
Oh yeah, that's a bit later on though, isn't it?
Well, this leg is too bad, but the next leg is the killer. To Andrews Murphy.
Mark, I don't see you in the sim.
I see you.
Yeah, I think because of the number of people on tonight, we may be hitting the limits of the simulator for the multiplayer environment.
Well, I just crashed at this top, so start again. Why? Just fell out of the sky.
If you jump in at 85 Tango November, it should be good.
Yeah, I think the sim can support about 30.
Yeah, then it starts disappearing people, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm happy if you have a memorial service.
It's a side Joe's 737.
See, this is a shame.
He was
isn't
a
it?
pilot.
Yeah. It's a shame there's no explosions.
You're back again.
Wouldn't it be good though? Well, good in a kind of dark humour kind of way on a group flight to look behind and see a column of smoke coming out of the trees.
I mean, Joe just has to like show his smoke right now, so.
I'd have to switch over to an air ambulance.
Yes.
I'd pay for that.
And we all know that nobody who puts a plane into the trees would get any sympathy from the group either.
They would be like, huh, yeah. That's about it.
I'm streaming little map if you have a look.
I'm quite happy if it's my fault, but it sucks when you don't know why.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's the crashing. The crash desktops are terrible.
Funny you mention about putting a plane into the trees. It happened to a friend of mine for real last week at Rochester. I don't know if you saw the news at all. A light aircraft crashes after takeoff at Rochester.
No, didn't see that one.
Yeah, I saw it on
that. Yeah, he had a friend of mine, actually a very good friend of mine. He had an engine failure on runway 20 from Rochester, and the trouble with Rochester is there are just trees for about a mile after the airport, and there's nothing you can do but land in the trees, which he did, and he and his passenger were both rescued, and they were both fine.
Fantastic.
Oh, good end story.
Yeah, thankfully.
What was he flying?
A Piper Emeraude, which is a French thing, a little two-seater. Yeah.
Lock your ears, Emmanuel.
It'll be interesting to see the AAIB report eventually as to why the engine failed. That'll be very interesting.
Probably went out of a Renault.
Yeah, because the British have got a fantastic history with cars, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, cars that take 3 times longer than any other country to build cost 4 times more.
Chrysler Avenger was one of them.
And break down every 30 seconds.
Human minks.
I've had one of those and the electrics burned out.
There you go.
Well, that was probably because it was Tuesday.
I had a Vauxhall Viva in the store on the indicator. Just below
Fell
the
off.
steel wheel. No, it burst into flames. And we weren't in the car. Got in the car and there was nothing there. It was all burned.
See, always open the door and look first before you get in.
Well, but make sure you're in the right car.
Coming up for runway 23 by the look of the wind at Tellico Plains.
Am I making you jealous, Lyndon?
Yeah, I started off in that, but it was too tame. I went for my acrobatic caravan. No, it was difficult to fly slow as well.
I'm still getting got.
And land up too fast. It's great for acrobatics.
Get a bit of height so I can actually see what's going on.
I'm making Skimmer feel paranoid. I've been on his tail for the last hour.
Yeah, I was watching you following him.
Drop a flap in the caravan. It's great for following X-Cubs of low height.
Pylons.
Did you hear that, Dave?
Yeah. Plenty of pylons for Dave.
Busy streaming little map.
Why?
All the aircraft on.
Is there anybody flying tonight that doesn't have a little nav map?
Have it, not using it. Not tonight.
I don't have it.
Oh, I've got to say thank you, Jonathan, for your little nav map guide. That helped me out actually quite a lot. Extra little bits and pieces I couldn't find.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Any reason not to change, Jonathan?
What, to the beta?
Yeah.
No, the beta's got a load of new stuff in it, and it's a lot more stable. It doesn't crash as much. Well, I haven't had a single crash with the beta yet.
Oh, sounds good.
We had a crash with the original, huh?
Yeah.
What beach were you
Me too. Very reliable.
Beta of Little Nav Map. It's got a lot of new functionality in it.
Okay.
It can do things like loading
Livery,
SimBrief directly into it.
Okay, that's useful.
And approaches now are automatically added into flight paths.
Yeah.
Being able to filter on nearby airfields according to runway length, I think is pretty good as well.
Yeah, that's really clever.
Okay, so how do you get the beta if you
Just go to their website. You can. It's available as an
Google
option.
it too.
Can
Yeah,
you
you
run?
can Google it.
Can you have both of them on your system?
I think you can. You just choose a different install location. Right, I'm going to come in and do my touch and go.
I touched, but I didn't go. So now I'm going.
Yeah, same here.
MX3.
It's quite a steep approach over those trees, isn't it?
Yeah. I almost didn't touch.
Could do with cutting them, couldn't they?
This is not what I want to hear. I'm about to do a full stop landing in a BC-21.
Oh, you can take those trees out.
Kodiak used to be my favorite. Now I think it's the TBM 930.
Yeah, I've always liked that aircraft. Brilliant.
Say again?
I've always liked that aircraft. It's excellent. TBM.
I've been loving it.
The enhancement mod's good as well.
I haven't tried that.
I'll look that up. Huntsman?
Enhancement on Flight TO.
Thank you.
It's on Flight TO.
Yeah.
Does anyone know whether the Google Maps mod on Flight TO is any good? That seems to have mixed reviews.
I used it. It made the water look very bad because it's not modeling right with the because it's not 3Ding, and then it also messed up all my radar maps, made them all like blank. So I just removed it. It did look a little bit sharper, but it wasn't worth it for the water.
Yeah, I think people underestimate the amount of work Microsoft, Adobe, and their various partners have done on the tiles and textures and everything.
I've been using Google Maps for several months now. I find it the scenery and all is much more accurate. Like my area up here in North Georgia, it actually shows my property where I can land on, and it shows it properly. Whereas Microsoft doesn't show it right at all.
Yeah, it'll be variable all over the world. But,
and I found Hawaii a lot more accurate as well. But there is a problems with the plates. You can tell when they do different satellite passes, you'll get different colorations there.
Yeah, that line. Yeah. You can always just take a quick tutorial and make your property in the editor, and then you can make, like I did my own aircraft or my own airport that's really close by to me, and fixed it, put the right hangars in, and changed the runway a little bit. Took a little getting used to, but once you get it, you can actually upload it to flightsim.to if you wanted to, or you can keep it yourself.
And what was the tool name?
It's built in. It's built into Flight Simulator. You go into the debug mode, and then you got the you can put assets down, anything you want inside of it. You can build your own airport if you want. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do it, and then it's in Flight Simulator.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it's the SDK. It's pretty simple if you just want to move some trees and buildings and put your own building in and stuff. It's not too hard.
Runway 26 at Andrews Murphy.
Looks like it. The wind's actually getting stronger, isn't it, en route? But let me check on the next airfield. So 268 knots at Andrews Murphy, so yeah. So someone's messaged on the live chat, said they've counted 24 pilots on a little nav map. Yeah, that's only the people that are running transmitter. That's probably only half of us.
That's a fact. How many's on Discord?
Didn't Steve have a count up earlier and said there was 30 odd?
34.
But then you'll also get people joining in that aren't on Discord, and yeah. Just usually the Xbox guys, because obviously they have the faff of trying to run it on a phone, and then push to talk won't work anyway.
Yeah, 29 currently.
So how many are on this flight total, Jonathan?
It's impossible to say because we don't know how many are in the simulator in the airspace near us. So we can have an estimate and say it's probably in the 40s somewhere.
Do they all show up on the built-in map now, or is it?
Yeah, well, they
select
will,
just a few?
but yeah, I think we've got to that point though where there's that many that people are disappearing.
Hello, sir. Hello. Are you listening me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I'm listening about your conversation about the SDK. Somebody asking about the scenery. It is possible also to make your own aircrafts. Now I am working on an aircraft to shift that aircraft from the Flight Simulator X to the Flight Simulator 2020.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually quite straightforward, isn't it? You can import the aeroplanes.
Yes, I am only facing the problem. I am only I'm facing at the moment facing the problem on the gauges.
Yes.
Gauges actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'd have to reprogram them all.
Yes, I have a C-130 Alpha C-130 in a Flight Simulator X, and I already successfully import in the MSF 2020. Now I want to fix cockpit.
Yeah. And that's where the vertical climb starts, of having to learn a lot really quickly about animation and 3D objects and all the rest of it. It's really hard.
I'll give anybody a big kiss if they made a PC-10.
I already have done one Albatros. You know Albatros, Grumman Albatros.
You could always get X-Plane, that's got a VC-10.
We got to explain. I haven't flown it for 2 years or more.
Mark was asking me earlier on what the difference
No.
was.
Flight Simulator X, not X.
Yes, I know. We're just on.
Flight Simulator 10.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sorry, Jim. You were saying Mark was asking.
Mark was asking what the difference was between X-Plane and this one, MS 2020.
It's just a slightly different way of modelling aeroplanes now.
About 10 quid.
Yeah.
One's like looking underwater, and the other's out. Yeah, 4K.
One ain't got half the scenery, and you've got to.
If you had made the comparison 10 years ago, which is when they really started to develop or become mature products, 10 years ago X-Plane had by far the better flight model. Flight Sim, as of 2020, and certainly as of, say, update 9 and 10, has caught up with it. But yeah, so
back in those days, you had to buy all the scenery separately.
you still do.
In England or Britain, was about 5 discs, wasn't it?
Yeah, so in X-Plane, you still have to. They're only a small company. They haven't got the unlimited resources that Microsoft have got. So they don't provide accurate scenery. They use clever auto-generated scenery with a basic map of the world, but it's nothing like Flight Sim. You have to spend a fortune with people like Orbex to make it look realistic.
Yeah, and then it's 10 years old.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
I have another fun fact about the area.
Go for it.
So let's say you have a friend, you don't like them that day, you just drop them off in this area. You may never see them again.
Why? How did you come up with this information?
Look at the
Nice fun. Yeah, pretty mild.
Deliver him.
Thanks, mate.
Yes. Hello. Please. Let me talk. Please, Jonathan, sir. I find there X-Plane has the better technology, but the graphics and the other things are better in the MS 2020.
Yeah, but as of the most recent updates to 2020, the flight model has caught up. Not all of the aeroplanes use it, but it's got computational fluid dynamics in it now, which is better than the X-Plane model.
Okay, let me give an intro of myself. Let me please listen please. I am an ex-international hockey player. And recently I joined your company.
Yep.
And your group. Last time I fly, now my age is 63, and I am very fond of flight simulator.
Very good.
I hope you didn't play England and beat us.
I am in Pakistan. Actually, I am in Pakistan at the moment.
Very good.
Very good hockey team.
Yeah, they got a good football team, right?
They got a good
Yes,
hockey
yes.
team.
I have been in England in 1982. I have been there, and I also in China. I visit about 17 countries.
Your English is very good, by the way.
I'm not good in English.
No, it is really good.
Yeah, you're making yourself understood, though, which is more than I could do in Pakistani or...
No doubt.
I could order a curry.
Oh, God. What, just by talking slowly and loud? Yeah.
And side by side, I'm an electrical engineer.
Okay.
I am electrical engineer, side by side.
So if we need to build a cockpit, we need to come and ask you.
I'd have a divorce if I build a cockpit.
You've already got 2/3 of it.
That's what I'm saying. If I went any further, I'd be in trouble.
Where is that line at?
Right, I'm going to turn and circuit and watch people coming in.
Final.
It's very choppy, the thermals tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting thrown all over the place in the steering.
Who's going to have a day off from work on Thursday? Or
No.
is it Friday?
No, because I'll just
Watch
stay up
work.
all night.
We got 11 new airplanes to play with, haven't we?
And helicopters.
I'm gonna be sick.
Wednesday, is it?
And gliders.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be sick that day.
You do look a little bit peaky.
It'll be around about 4 PM, won't it, in the UK when it
I don't
opens
know.
up for download?
Yeah, it'll be. Is it Friday the 11th? I can't remember.
That will time it coinciding with the rolling blackouts to the electricity then, exactly that afternoon, won't it?
Well, I heard this funny sound. I've lost one engine, and then 10 seconds later I've lost the other engine. So I thought to check my fuel, and surprise, surprise.
Schoolboy error.
Are you out?
I'm out, yes.
Uh-oh.
737 glider.
So
You need a couple of these small airplanes under your wing?
Possibly. I should make it.
I'm just watching all the planes on approach. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's touch and go area right here, right?
It's
Are
a
we
nice
supposed
little
to be coming in
airfield.
at 23?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Or 26, sorry.
Yeah, well,
I'm just reading the
just
paint on the runway as I go by.
the opposite of 60.
Jonesy, what are you flying? What's the D18S?
It's a D18. It's the Beechcraft.
Ah.
Model 18.
Okay.
Nice little gentle pussycat.
It is. It's just a shame the sound isn't quite loud enough from the engines, is it? It's quite odd.
Not too worried about that in the group flight because it's fairly low anyway.
Yeah.
But at least you can't hear the repeating loops of the engine. That drives me crazy. There's the 3 aircraft I've got that do that, and I won't fly them anymore. The Chipmunk's one of them.
Wind Otter.
Does that do as well?
Yeah, it's not really good.
It's like they got the sound samples from 3 different libraries, stuck them together with tape, and thought that would do.
Yep.
They won't hear the gap.
No.
There's a big gap.
Well, there's no real kind of join at all, is there? It's just...
Yeah. Shame.
Let's play a random recording of an aeroplane starting, and then a different one of one at 5,000 revs.
So the Twin Otter still has bad sound?
Yes, even though they promised they were going to go and hire a Twin Otter and record it when it was launched. and they never did.
Yeah.
They knew it was bad at launch.
Hello, sir. May I see the little map? Where are you flying at the moment?
We are at, oh my word, it's underneath that cluster of aeroplanes.
It's Kilo Romeo.
Sossamon Field, is it? Oh no.
St. Andrews.
Andrews Murphy.
Andrews Murphy.
Yeah.
Andrews Murphy.
Yeah, Sossamon's the next one. We're at Andrews Murphy, which is 57 NC.
With a steep climb.
Kilo Romeo, and then the other.
The
Kilo
next,
Romeo.
yeah, the next airfield is 61 degrees, 24 miles to Sossamon Field.
ICAO code.
Sorry, it's Kilo Romeo Hotel Papa.
Kilo Romeo Hotel Papa. Okay.
That's
thank
where
you
we
very
are at the moment. The next one we're going to is 57 November Charlie.
much. Okay. I got it. 57.
I've got 24A as the next one.
Nope, you're missing one.
57 November Charlie is the next one. 61 degrees, 24 miles.
24 Alpha.
Sossamon Field.
So we've got 2 airfields left. It's Sossamon and then Jackson County.
And what is the altitude?
So sorry, Jim wanted the ICAO code first. It's 57 November Charlie for Sossamon.
No, altitude. You're flying.
Yeah, I know. I was answering a different question. We are at about 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet, somewhere in there. The hills are getting higher though, so we're climbing as we leave.
Yeah, I think leg safe is going to be 5,000 feet, but you could probably get away with 4,500 feet to get over this one mountaintop.
Yeah.
Close to the original airport.
Runway 29 at Sossamon.
Possibly. Yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it? So there's all kind of whitewater rafting rapids through some of these hills in the valleys.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, that would be cool to do.
You've got a pretty mouth.
I haven't seen that movie for years.
That's very disturbing still.
It is still.
Yeah, it's not worth revisiting.
Right.
Squeal at a pig.
I just remember John Voight in that. He was young.
Yeah.
An arrow in his leg and all the flesh out of it. Oh my god.
Still good banjo playing, wasn't it?
It was.
Really good.
The best.
I might go and jump across into the next valley across, because I think it would make a much easier route than going over the hills.
And more scenic.
Yeah.
Let's run.
Might drop down there and live dangerously.
I'm going far too
Go out of
fast.
autopilot.
What is this autopilot you speak of?
Shoestring and rubber bands.
Oh, okay.
I'm so spoiled. I'm spoiled. If I take
engage
flying
it, so
lessons, I better be in a Skyhawk 172 with the G1000, nothing less.
I use the autopilot so I can drink the coffee.
I got a Cessna 172 with auto throttle.
Yeah, just get a strut, much cheaper.
It's like watching a movie.
Oh, hello. Here comes Lyndon upside down. You're just so good at that, Lyndon. It always amazes me.
Yeah, you go. Trim wheel comes in hand.
You're actually doing a stress test on the fuel pump, aren't you?
Yeah.
And the injectors.
Staying outside the cockpit.
Is that a quarry on the side of that hill just up ahead?
Don't know, it's upside down.
Sorry, on the ceiling.
Upside down.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I think it's foresting, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like a quarry from here. Or just bad textures.
I wonder if SWS would ever make the Kodiak 900. I mean, if PMDG and other people will make another variant that's just like another fuselage, it makes sense because it actually can cruise at like 210 knots, I think. And it's got a bunch of other features to it, the faster, bigger Kodiak.
It's a good question.
What runway for 57 November Charlie, please?
If it's another way to take all of our money from our wallets, I'm sure they'll do it.
It's looking like 29, Jim.
Roger that.
This is a beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty. The sun's starting to set if you're on real time.
Yeah. Long shadows. Not far out from the airfield now. Crikey, if I stay with the river, I'm going to make the passengers scream.
Yeah.
Or throw up.
They don't sound happy.
Watching those YouTube videos of those great STOL planes where they'll not land on water, but they'll start landing like 50 feet on water, and the wheels will just glide along the water because, you know, they're good pilots landing like that, and then they land on like the beach or something. Those are really cool.
Yeah, they're amazing. And they take off in the air with a 15-knot wind, and they just pretty much just lift up.
Yep, that one guy, Mike Patey, with his YouTube channel with that crazy bush plane called Draco, and then that other one he calls Scrappy. They're insane. I think he's got like the record for like the shortest takeoff at like 102 feet. It's like he literally just opens it up and just lifts into the air in 100 feet.
Yeah, Draco died, I think, a couple years ago though. He did a ground roll, I believe, on takeoff.
The owner of that plane?
Yeah, totaled it.
Oh, then maybe the guy I'm thinking about maybe built it for that owner or something, or maybe it was not the same guy.
No,
he was only one of them.
No, Patey built and flew it, but he just there was some sort of wind that hit him on takeoff, and it just made the wing dip and hit the ground, and that was that.
Okay. I can't. Are there any planes in this game that are close to that? Would you say one of those two planes?
Well, he's done Scrappy, but I think he's also. I remember seeing something. He actually did something again with it. I think he had a V12.
The Cub Carbon and the
V-Star, the SWS one.
The gravel.
You would say like the Cub and the. You think like the Pilatus PT or the PC6, the Milvis PC6 would be kind of close to a similar plane like that, or? like just the Cubs.
You mean compared to the Scrappy?
Yeah, like what's as close of a short takeoff plane like that Microsoft Flight Simulator has, or that you could download or payware that you know of?
SWS have got one.
Yeah, either the X-Cub or Kit Fox one is. I fly that one quite a bit. That's
Kit
nice.
Fox is good.
Gravel.
Yeah, the little Kit Fox is a lovely little plane.
Yeah, I just bought that Freedom
check that out.
Kit Fox. Yeah, it's got really knobby tires, and you can take right off and 10 knots straight up.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of the one that Simworks Studios make. That you're
V-Stol or something?
It's, Zenith.
Ugly.
Zenith, is it called?
Stol, yeah, it might be. Yeah, the Zenith Stol, possibly.
Or Zenith, yeah, that's it, I think. Right, I'm looking for
It
this
was on
airfield.
sale, wasn't it?
Where's this airfield? I'm going to have to get some height. I think I'm about to fly right over the top. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you're coming at it in the middle.
Kind of along the river, maybe, or
Right.
It's stuck between three white buildings.
So it's looking like, yeah, landing from the other end. The end that's got, if you run short, you're going to hit a hillside, and it's going to be a bad day.
Like cliff.
So, question on the live stream: where I'll be flying from? We're actually heading towards the end of the group flight today. At the moment, we're just going into Sossamon Field, which is it's difficult to tell on the map which state it's in.
I believe this should be over in Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's at the east end of Montana Lake.
It's an amazing bit of scenery around here, isn't it? With the river winding around and...
Yeah, I keep taking screenshots. I'm like, this is the best I've ever seen. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, this is the best I've ever seen.
It's really cool.
Especially with the live weather, with all the clouds breaking everything up.
I'm just going to circle here, waiting for the stragglers to arrive, and then we'll continue on together to the final airfield, I guess.
We're in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Nothing could be finer.
Well, the live stream looks really good.
That was a bounce and go, right?
Yep. Big mountains on the other way.
.737 just did a big abort.
I'm just trying to make my passengers scream.
I'd love to do this for real in this deal, and the scenery is stunning.
like we have a real aircraft in there. N496AL.
Okay, so the final leg is 124 degrees, 14 miles over to Jackson County. So that's 124 degrees.
Well, the wind's currently 270 at 5 knots, with a QNH of 1020.
Yeah, we're gonna get a crosswind.
Not even setting of mind hungry.
I think it's going to be sunset when we get there, isn't it?
Let's do it.
Not far off for the moment. Just a little bit right.
Be a
Mountains
happy,
here make it go quicker. Yeah.
be a happy accident that we get there at sunset.
No, you've done it on purpose, right?
No, never do.
Pretty ironic if you get blinded by the sun and crash.
So isn't it pretty?
I know, pretty.
But it looks gorgeous. And I'm dead.
Where did these wings come from?
That's not very far at all.
I know someone has on here, but has anybody bought that Osprey and used it?
Huey has.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Tricky, but not impossible.
Yeah, it's a nice little challenge, but it's, yeah, it's doable. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. Well, that might be the next one then.
I'm waiting for the 12 planes to turn up on Thursday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got that first, haven't we?
Well, if you want a nice long final, you can go to Highway 74. That's about a 5-mile final.
It's Friday. So for us, it'll be Friday tea time, won't it?
Final runway, please.
Good question.
15.
It's the last one, I believe.
Runway 15.
Should be 15, I think.
It is.
Are you trying to burn the trees there, Joe?
No, the engine's off. I'm actually all parked up and closed down.
Ah, who's that in the 737 then that's just skimmed the hilltop?
I'll be me.
Little
Ducky.
Jim,
I'm not gonna
little
admit it.
saying runway 33.
Nice hilltop landing here.
Yeah, it's nice runway.
So yeah, someone's just messaged in the stream and said, oh, they missed a group flight. There's nothing to stop any of you putting invitations out in the Discord server. There's an invitations channel and you can use the @everyone tag in there. What I would say though is don't expect people to turn up straight away. So if you give a date and a time on your invitation, then you can you can get a whole load of people to turn up to go for a fly. Or even if it's only like half an hour warning.
UTC.
Yeah.
Okay, you are talking to me?
Everybody. If everybody wants to use, there's an invitations channel in the Discord server. So if you want to get a group of people to go flying with, post your invitation in advance and use the @everyone tag. But obviously put lots of information in about where you're going to fly, what server, what time, and all that kind of thing.
What type of aircraft?
Exactly. And which voice channel you'll be sitting in, if you're going to use voice channels.
I'm on your channel actually.
It's like there's parking in the back near runway 33.
It certainly is.
Because I know, for example, this is obviously early evening or middle of the evening for us in the UK, but for obviously all the other countries around the world, this is breakfast time for Ellis. It's
No, Jonathan, it's not. It's 11:45 a.m.
All right. Okay.
Dinner time in the U.S.
And it's Monday, of course, here.
Don't remind me.
He's in the future, so did he crash, Ellis?
Well, we've tried giving you the lotto numbers, but that didn't work.
Alright, guys. Gotta get going.
Oh, that's
talk to you later.
Yeah.
See you later.
Alright, see ya. Yep.
Nice day.
Here we have a gaggle of aircraft arriving.
Hilltop runway for the final airfield.
It's a lovely runway.
I think I'll circle over it before I attempt.
I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, I'm just doing my RNAV approach with the G1000, just hanging out. Lazy.
I guess it would be awkward for me to announce I'm going to turn everybody's name tag off.
I turned the name tags off because I could.
It's very cool seeing everybody coming in.
Well, yeah, I've just been currently at the end of the runway, and I think you could easily just use the land after command for ATC, and everybody would manage.
Oh, like Oshkosh.
Yeah, separation's been very good. But similar aircraft types anyway. Here comes Josh.
Is that P-38 I just said? Sounds like a bag of nails.
They head on with a 737 here. I'm coming in on P3.
Yeah, well, 15 was in use.
My whole body was shaking. The wind became very changeable at the end then.
I'm going to say good night. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Good
Yeah,
flight.
see you
See you
later.
next time.
Good night, Lee.
Yep,
Thanks.
see you soon.
Cheers. Cheers.
We job to park that Airbus. Or is it Boeing?
So someone's asking me on the live stream which airport this is. It is Jackson County. 24 Alpha is the ICAO code for it.
So if I can ask a quick question of everybody, are we all reasonably familiar with what ATC does?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. And have we all heard the land after instruction?
No.
Okay. Which
But
basically
gather.
means you haven't got clearance to land, but you simply follow the aircraft that's in front of you. And really that's all we need, Jonathan, to use for these, if we wanted to do a session, you know, at any particular point. And
We
have
could,
it-
couldn't we?
have it, yeah, because that's instruction. And just watching everybody come in, everybody's separation's been really good. You will have had similar aircraft types. So that would work a treat.
Yeah, we're a pretty well-behaved bunch, really.
Suggest a distance and a time behind, or it's just common sense.
Yeah, you just, well, for light aircraft, you're responsible for your separation. So you just basically pick somebody to follow as you're approaching to land, and then obviously you don't overtake them, you just stay behind them a bit. So everybody just lines up, and one lands after the other, hence the command.
It'd help if we all landed the same way.
Yeah, I landed
Well, yeah.
a different way,
So
I think.
So if we did an ATC, set up at one airport on a night, one particular session, ATC will be active just for that one airport, and then in effect everyone just line up and then land properly. Just be a bit of fun.
Do they have to clear the runway before landing?
No, because you just land after, so that's the idea. So you're responsible. So everybody would normally just roll to the end and then park up. But obviously if we're doing touch and goes, you would just take off again.
So somebody stops on the runway.
Well, you wouldn't stop on the runway because you would know that you're going to get rammed by somebody behind you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
He just went straight in behind the trees there.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I was trying to
Very-
practice how to get
very
out of
impressive.
stalls. I wasn't doing it for fun, actually. I was trying to actually practice how to get out of a stall by using that rudder when you're in a corkscrew nosedive. The first time I did it, it actually worked. It looked like I was going down, but then I did the right rudder or the left. I don't know which one, but that's probably a good thing to know, how to get out of a nosedive, like a spiral dive like that.
Mark, about 12:30 tomorrow my time.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, all.
Yep, see you soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Sounds good, Jim. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for hosting, Jonathan.
That's okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a really nice.
Jonathan,
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
have a good one,
See
everybody.
you soon. Have a good week, everybody.
Really nice route. Thank you.
Jonathan, before you go,
Yep.
See you next week. Bye.
have your daughters booked their flights, or are they getting up early in the morning?
For the final.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's been some good footy.
Yeah, there has. It's been very good.
I heard on the news this morning Eden Park is sold out already.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Good night.
Yep, see you soon.
Yeah,
good night.
Yeah, the England ladies football team had a game the other week in one of the big stadiums, and it sold out 70,000 seats in an hour.
Oh, it should. Good for them.
And that's for months and months to go yet.
Yeah, it's nuts. My other half got tickets. She got permission off work to sit there all morning to get the tickets.
Wow.
Yeah, she was at. My other half went with our girls. They all went to the European Cup final. They were at Wembley and saw it. So a memory for the rest of their life.
I mean, that's great to be off.
That was the night you left early, Jonathan. Had to go and pick him up. I remember that.
I couldn't watch
well,
it.
She's not in air traffic control, eh?
Yeah, it's the most nervous I think I've ever been watching anything on the telly.
It was close, wasn't it?
Right. Well, guys, I got a lot to do today, so I'm out of here. See you next week.
Yeah,
Yep.
right up.
See you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the live stream now. So thanks for everybody that watched the live stream. We'll see you all again soon.